Hello, hello. You are listening to This Black Girl podcast. I am one of your lovely hosts, Lola.
And I am Hill Diva, your other host. And welcome to our first edition of Dirty 30 Thursday. Yes, Dirty 30 Thursday is the day of the week that we will talk about grown folk subject matter. Always feel free to send in any topics that you want to talk about as a grown folk. We're hoping that you are at least 18 plus or even 30 plus, even better.
Kindly. Not put it as a preference and not a requirement.
Correct. And yeah, so we're going to start it all off. Let us know what you'd like to talk about, Miss Lola.
The topic, I guess, for today's Dirty 30 Thursday is we're going to talk about men and we're going to talk about our standard and our ideal of men and how they have evolved from a woman in your 20s, let's say late teens to early 20s. How has that ideal man evolved now that you are in your 30s?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that is a very good analysis. I will definitely say something to measure more like. For me, when I was in my 20s, I definitely was one of those typical, muscle loving girls. Like any guy with, I don't care if you had a 4 pack or 6 pack, a 2 pack, I was happy. Or if you were 2 pack, that would be great.
Pack in a pack.
Right? As long as you had a pack. But the funny thing about that, I will definitely say, is that after I dated like my first boyfriend, and I'm telling you, had the full muscles, the tattoos, all of that stuff. I actually did not like tattoos and stuff like that, but I just love muscles. Muscles, I was done. You notice really quick though, after dating them for a while, you're like, okay, so you have these abs. Like they don't do nothing for me. Like, like they're just cute to look at, but that's literally it, it's just there. Anyway, so that was 20s, looking for just those types of muscle, more brawn. To be honest, in my 30s, I'm definitely a lot more measured. When I'm looking for a suitor, I want someone who's actually has some similar interests as me. I want someone who is responsible financially, someone who's got their life together, who's not, running around getting tattoos, and they have their priorities straight for sure. And I'm not so much about looks anymore. I don't care, because at the end of the day, I've had all these good-looking people, and it's like, it's not about that, because looks are going to fade, and you want someone who is at least responsible and has the same values as you, and it's just changed a lot. Let's put it that way. What about you?
I mean, okay, I have to slightly disagree. I'm vain. I'm vain. I'm going to start off saying
that.
I'm a little vain. So, looks do matter to me. I guess, like, I don't know, growing up, I don't want to say I've had a type, but I've had a type. I know I've had a type. Like when I was younger, they had to be tall, they had to have like pretty eyes, they had to be like a machismo type of guy, just like certain those quintessential, like, I guess, ideal masculine traits. Now that I'm older, definitely, like, are you responsible? That's important to me. Are you clean?
Ooh, big one.
Responsible to me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a turn on. That's a turn on, because it's like, as you grow up, it's like you realize and see in certain men, like, you're just looking for a woman to substitute and be your mama. I ain't your mama. Yep. So it's like a man that is clean, not just hygienically, but like, is your house clean? Is your laundry done? Like,
can you cook?
Can you cook? Yeah.
Oh,
that's those for like basic domestic traits. Like, that's right. Turn on me. Are you emotionally intelligent? Do you even if you don't understand the differences between women, can you at least acknowledge and respect them? Are you thoughtful? just things like as I've gotten older, I realized that like my partner, I really want my partner to be my friend. And like my friend, you have to actually understand me and get me, and not just think like, oh, I'm just some woman that you're dating. So I guess that's how my thought process has matured. But like, I still want a good-looking man. I still want a tall man. If you're ugly, I can't do it. I'll try, but like, it won't work.
It's so funny that, like, and I completely understand that. But for me, it's like the more I've grown, the more I've been able to see beauty in people. Where, you know, I just feel like if someone's ugly, it's not your fault that you're ugly. Like, it's just the surface. Like, you can't help what body you wake up in. I mean, obviously to a point, like, everything is relative. So, you know, there's certain things that, oh God, I hate even talking like this. I feel so mean. Anyway.
I will be the mean one.
But
I will
you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
you can't turn me on just looking at you. I don't care who brought me flowers. If I look at you and I
yes. For
like,
sure.
It's not gonna work. Like, you can be nice, you can give me money, you can do whatever. You can, and like, if that attraction's not there, it's not there. I'm sorry, and I'm not.
So now that's another thing. So, but what is that trigger that turns people on, right? Like, some people are turned on by looks, right, the visual, and some people are more like, okay, if you're supporting me, if you're giving me that care, if if you're intelligent, that's a turn on. If you have a really good skill.
And that's why I say I'm vain. I'm sorry, that's why I say I'm vain, because it's like, yes. I've been in situations, girl, where like I've had on the low situations, ships, whatever, entanglements as people are calling it nowadays. I've I guess low-key dated an ugly guy. Will I ever introduce that friend to the world? Absolutely not. So, like, as we like to say, like, were they walkable? No.
Right. Yes. Okay. No. So walkable. That's the standard for me. Like, if I cannot be seen with you and hold my head high, that's the issue. That's the issue. For sure. You have to be walkable. Like, you need to be.
And that's why I say that I'm thinking, because it's like it sounds really bad to say, but like, I have a height fetish. I really do. And it's like, I'm 5'10". I'm a tall ass woman. Okay. I've been called the Green Giant's daughter, great grandchild to the CN Tower. I've been Big Ben, Little Ben. Like, I've been called all of them. I've been called every type of height joke you can imagine. Okay. So it's like, for me, height is like so number one. You can be a little rough in the face, but if you got that height, you will catch my attention.
And to be a little rough in the face, because you won't see him up there anyway. He'll be way too far up.
I can see it. Maybe everybody else can't see it because they're a little shorter, you know?
Right.
But yeah, like, it's terrible. It's terrible.
For me, it's funny because for me, height has never really been an issue. I feel like when I was younger, I did kind of prefer taller guys. I just liked it. But it was never really.
Why?
What'd you say?
You're so short. Why?
How dare you?
I used to always grow up resenting a little bit, not fully, but a little bit of the shorter women, because I'm like, why are y'all snatching up our tall niggas? Like, the tall niggas, the tall women, y'all can hold on to these 5'8", 5'9", 5'6" dudes who need short women to be with so that they can have their confidence lifted. What about us?
What about us? Don't kill me. No, I get it. I fully get it. Because it's funny, because sometimes I will see like a shorter girl than me. I mean, I'm 5'3.5", but I've seen, some 5-footers like edging on midget status. Excuse me if that's politically incorrect, but edging and with some 6-foot men, and I'm like, it's crazy. I'm like, he looks like a giant.
These ones that are like literally 4'11", okay? 4'11", and they're dating men that are like 6'4", and I'm like, why?
But you know what? Some men also have that fetish too, right? So they just want a little mini short lady beside them. I don't know. Someone they can probably, I don't know what kind of.
But everybody's short to you, so you should be turned on by everybody.
Very true, right? We all look like ants.
Right.
That's so funny.
So
But
yeah.
it's funny because for me, I'm actually now at this point, and I won't really say it wasn't really a 30s thing, but as I was dancing more, doing my salsa when I was in about my like early 20s, like early to mid 20s is when I decided I'm like, hey, it doesn't matter. I like short guys. Like I actually prefer short guys because of dancing. Right? When you dance, it's more sensual with a guy whose face is closer to your face instead of dancing on some tall guy's kneecap, or you're, it's kind of awkward. So
It's funny because it's like I absolutely can very rarely not relate, like at all. Like when I'm dancing, 9 times out of 10, if I'm dancing with the guy's gonna be in my face anyways because we're almost the same height.
right.
Like I've had boyfriends that I've been out with, and I'll wear a pair of heels, and I've had a man tell me to my face, who's supposed to be my boyfriend, who loves me, okay, tell me, babe, I love you, but when we're out together, don't wear these shoes because it feels like I'm holding hands and walking with my mom.
No, you didn't. With my mom. Hey, that's actually funny because
Like a child, like he felt like he felt like he was a child.
he was a child. Don't kill me. Okay, now I get it. I thought I'm like, does he just have a high heels kind of not fetish, but like a complex? But no, I get it.
The heels like, just to give you perspective, as you know, I am 5'10". That particular boyfriend was about like 6 foot tall, so he had only a couple inches on me. The heels I wore were maybe like a 4-inch heel or so. So it made me 6'2". But then I was a couple inches taller than him. Literally 2 inches, 5 centimeters. Had this man feeling like I was his mama walking him home.
Oh my God. And it's too much. It's too much.
5 centimeters, girl. Have
That is so funny.
You're feeling. So it's like, for me, y'all can keep these 6 foot. You can keep all of them. All these 6 foot, you can keep them all. I'm always looking above and beyond.
Gotta rise above. You gotta do it. Take one for the team. Just rise above. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
What is the shortest guy that you have dated?
Oh, girl. The shortest man I have ever dated was 5'7".
Really? Okay, so that's not too short.
Yeah, it only lasted like 2 weeks.
Oh.
Oh
God.
Fun fact: when we broke up, it wasn't because of the height. And we're gonna keep it all the way 100 for Dirty Thursday.
Right? I thought you were gonna say short what? When I asked shortest guy.
I mean, it applies in both situations. Put it that way.
Oh no!
If you want to take it there, it applies in both situations.
Okay, that's unfortunate, but that's life.
Yeah.
For me, honestly, let me think. The shortest guy, probably 5'10", maybe 5'10", maybe 5'9".
Okay.
5'9", yeah. I have, to be honest, I have not. The thing is, I can't even tell because I'm only 5'3.5", so everyone looks like they're 6 foot. Okay.
You're so funny.
Oh my God! So I think I would probably say that height. I don't know.
Okay. Since we're talking about height in various areas, what was the shortest guy you've ever dated?
Okay, so I don't listen. I can't. I don't even know. I'm honestly saying I don't even know. All I knew is that protection is key, And when half the protection is hanging down, there's a problem. There's a problem.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but my
I can't. No, like I don't even want to like protection shame anybody. You know what I mean?
no, I'm not protection shaming any of you. I'm
No,
not
no, no.
my question so out of pocket. Was it hanging off as it was like full fallacy, like fully erect?
Girl, yes.
Oh,
Girl, yes.
oh.
Girl, I'm scared up to this day. Oh my god. It was like, if I had to guess,
Yeah.
maybe like 4 to 5 inches, maybe max. Maybe
Oh,
6.
it's not that bad.
Maybe 3. I don't know. All I saw was something hanging down. I didn't have a ruler. It could have been centimeters. I don't know. Okay. Just kidding.
Well, okay, I'm gonna tell you two anecdotes. So the same short man that was also a short man, he was probably like 4 inches fully erect.
Mm-hmm. That was
And
this is the same short man. Sorry.
Yes, and like it probably would have been a less disappointing situation, but he was also the girth was lacking.
Mm-mm.
So it was just like a pencil.
Jeez.
A little pencil. You're like, ooh.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to be disrespectful. It's about the
I
border.
know.
I need to curb. But I'm going to say this whole topic just brought me back to when I was a teenager in school. And one of my girlfriends who was, because I was an innocent woman. I was still a virgin. And so I wasn't doing anything sexually explicit. I lived vicariously through my slutty friends. Shout out to them. Love them. Don't judge them. I'm so happy they're getting it in. And one of my girlfriends said that she went out to a party with one of her mutual guy friends. And they got like either drunk, high on some sort of substance, whatever. And they ended up in bed together. And we were like, what? Like, we were shocked, okay? Because, like, this particular guy friend didn't seem too keen. It appeared as though he was not into this female persuasion, put it that way. So we were kind of, like, taken aback, like, oh, okay. But, girl, why did she say that, like, when he whipped it out, it was, like, barely 2 inches?
What?
And that was, like, my first exposure to, like, now, which I know is the term of the micro penis, right?
Oh, I've heard of that.
Right, but like
no, but I thought people were joking.
No, it's actually a thing. It's actually a thing, and I feel
I gotta Google this.
Yes, do Google it.
I'm not. I can't. Oh
I've not Googled it before, but you can Google it. It's like literally, it looks like a giant clit. It's kind of like. And I don't want to shame nobody. I don't want to discourage nobody. Like, I don't want to penis size shame.
You're right, and I hate that I'm so shocked right now too. Because you're right.
Oh, but here's the thing: when you grow up, nobody teaches you these things.
It's true.
So when you come across them, when you're having like sexually explicit interactions with, I don't know, people, friends, things like that, and like they show you something that's not from the quote-unquote average of what you've seen in like film, television,
right?
Whatever, you have that shock value reaction.
And that's very true, because I've not been with a lot of people, but like, and it doesn't matter even if I had, because that's life. But no, because you don't want to slut shame any women. Numbers don't matter. But it's funny because the reason why 3, 4, 5 seems a little unusual to me is because if you only see a certain size, you think that everyone's is like that. You know what I mean? It's just like your own body. If you grow up only seeing your own body, you assume everyone's body is like yours, you know? So it's just crazy. I've just never bucked up on a micro one yet. And
well,
yeah.
little man was the closest I've been into that type of territory.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, like I've been thankfully blessed in my later 20s of being with men that were better endowed, not necessarily better in bed, but at least
Mm-hmm.
better endowed so that I could at least obtain some more pleasure. Um, and girl, now that I'm in my 30s, though, I can't. I don't even want to go into detail.
I know.
This is not soft corn radio. This is, regular podcast. So,
Mm-hmm.
I have no complaints in my 30s at all.
And it's funny because
Mhm.
you hear about it. I remember, it's so funny, when I was younger, in my mom's house with my siblings, like when everybody was home, I came across this book, and I don't know whose book it is to this day, and it said, "Is there sex out after 30?" That was the title of the book, and I must have, huh?
Really? Is there sex after 30? That sounds
Yes.
so wild.
And thank you. And on the cover, it was this caricature of like this white lady with curly hair and like a long nose, and she just looked tired. Like she looked like Squidward if he had a triangular wig on, like Aunt Selma from. She just looked exhausted, and I'm like, damn, 30's old. You know, I remember thinking that when I was probably 12 or 13.
I'm dying because that's the same thing. When I was younger, I thought that being in your 30s meant that you were fucking old.
Right.
And
But now,
yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? Is there not sex after 30? Because what kind of 30s am I having then?
I'm like, obviously, if there's no sex after your 30s, I've obviously found the friggin' fountain of youth. It's not 2020 and it's still 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And I am living my best life in my 20s again, apparently, if that's the case.
Hell, I'll take it. But I was going to say, though, like, studies nowadays, though, like since then, have shown that men reach their sexual peak at age, in their 20s, 25 plus, I believe. Well, or just in their 20s in general. And then women reach their peak in their 30s. And as a woman in my 30s, that book was completely wrong. Let me just put it that way. That was definitely wrong. And I can attest to that, just, having that libido drive in your 30s. I just feel like maybe if you don't know your body, or if certain strains are in your life, maybe, you're going through a lot, then that might be the case. But my girlfriends that are in their 30s, the people I know, I have not heard of a drought yet.
You know it. That's what
at
I
least
think.
Not self-inflicted, at least.
Fair enough. Like, I feel like in terms of like most of my girlfriends are in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
A few are single and mingling, but like almost everybody I know like has a very healthy sex drive. You know, and if they're not having sex, it's because they're choosing to be celibate or withhold it for some reason or another that's like valid, So I don't know, but yeah, no, I totally agree. Like whoever said that you don't have your sex drive goes down in your 30s was lying. Because if anything, I have more sex now in my 30s than I have like my whole life.
Trust me. And the thing is, too, do you even think that in the 40s, like for you in your personal situation, do you think that the 40s era of your life is going to change that? Or do you predict,
Oh, hell no. Because you know what? When we get older, there's going to be certain responsibilities out of the way. There's things I don't have to deal with. So guess what? You're going to be blowing out this bag. Please and thank you. Please and thank you.
I agree, exactly. Especially if he's the one. So there should never be a slowdown. I mean, obviously, eventually, people's backs are literally going to get thrown out. So before then, you got to stop.
But not even that. But honestly, there are people, women and men, that are having sex into their 80s. Okay, that like maybe it's not once a week, every few times a week, once a day, like some people or whatever.
Mhm.
But like, they're still getting it in. They just, make modifications to make it work, but they're still getting it in. So it's like, why the hell should I stop because I'm 30?
I agree. I definitely agree. And on that note, we are going to leave you guys off with a question. Have you ever been in a situation where, for example, you were going to be with a woman or man and you didn't, whatever this partner was not what you thought you were going to get? Not necessarily micro penis situation. It could be that. It could be other things like surprise, maybe. I don't know. But any encounters that went wrong.
I was going to say the meme of like what you ordered versus what you got.
Yes, exactly. Expectation versus reality. So
yeah.
If anyone, we will actually be discussing that on our next Dirty 30 Thursday. So if anyone has anything to add, feel free to hit us up on our Insta page, which is That Black Girl Podcast.
Oh, sorry, not that girl. It's This Black Girl Podcast.
Okay, well, there you go.